All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Infi versus Fly. This game taking place here on Northern Isles. I guess whoever chooses my replays for me thought, you know what, Crota's in the middle of a heat wave. Let's give him a whole bunch of ice maps to cast and watch games on. Over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, are the colors wrong? I do believe they are wrong. Let's go ahead. There you go. Fix the colors, but then they swapped positions. Ugh, that is no good either. All right, so RW is blue, which is over here on the top right, bottom left. Meanwhile, over here, we are looking at, I believe that is... Yeah, this is going to be Infi, who is spawned as the red orc. He did choose random. I can tell you now a non-human player wins this game. Yeah, I can tell you that as well. Anyways, let's go ahead into this 1v1 matchup. Infi switching from human to random and being very successful at it, as he was able to, well, put in a lot of pressure and cause a bit of problems. We are looking at a Blade Master going up against a Farseer in this matchup here, as well. Infi knows what race his opponent is. Meanwhile, well, Fly needs to, well, play a little bit more conservatively and before choosing a long-term strategy. Blade Master, nice. As we are getting this game underway, it looks like it is going to be a standard build. No very fast tech rushes anywhere. Still don't see a Voodoo Lounge as of yet. Meanwhile, back down across here, we do see a Voodoo Lounge. So even though both players are playing Orc, they are playing Orc in slightly different ways. Second Orc Burrow being placed down, as the Great Hall should be, well, trying to tech to tier 2 here in just a moment. Farseer will make its way out. Grunt will make its way out as well, as both sides perhaps going to do a little bit of creeping before, well, heading out to the other side of the map. Going after these creeps, Ogre Warriors, Ice Troll, Null Warden should be a relatively easy and quick creep camp to clear up. Well, taking things down rather fast. Ring of Protection +3, adding in a little bit more durability onto that Blade Master. Back down to the south here, Farseer going after the Murloc Huntsmans and these Tide Runners. A couple of these Spirit Wolves actually just being left behind to finish things off, but they won't be able to do that, as the Farseer resummons some Spirit Wolves and now ready to put in some pressure. He wants to at least scout out his opponent and know what his opponent is doing, and his opponent, and, well, know what race his opponent actually is. Blade Master is right there. Healing Salve now being used on that Blade Master. Blade Master wants to try and hide in the back, make sure that he does not end up getting attacked while using that healing salve. Sentry wards earlier, saving it for mid game. What is better? Well, being able to keep track of your opponent is always a good idea early on, and knowing your opponent's whereabouts. Proper positioning, proper placing is always better. I like using it in the early game a little bit more. In the late game, you never want to be in a position where you cannot pick up any additional items since you're holding on to a sentry ward for the late game. As soon as an item is used, as soon as a consumable item is used, like the sentry ward is used, it is effective, as opposed to, well, waiting to use it for a little bit later. Obviously, consumable items such as potions of healing, potions of mana, those are better to be used when the time is needed. But personally, I like using those sentry wards earlier on, as they do provide an advantage the instant they are used, as opposed to potions of healing. Well, they may be able to provide an advantage even if they aren't used, if your opponent notices that you have it and decide not to focus down your main hero. Probably Vendor for gold unless you are applying heavy pressure. No, sentry wards I still personally use, especially if you know that your opponent has a Blade Master. It doesn't make sense to try and sell your sentry wards for a little bit of gold only to buy Dust of Appearance to make sure that the Blade Master is not nearby, ready to creepjack you or take away your item. So I guess the proper answer, like many good questions in WarCraft 3, is the answer is it depends. Let's make our way back around here. We are at Stronghold. We are getting up a Shadow Hunter from I believe this is Infi. Yeah, red is in fact Infi. Meanwhile, Fly, what hero choice are we going to be seeing here? No hero, no second hero being traded. Nope, there is that Shadow Hunter as well. Yep. Shadow Hunter. Hunter, both the support heroes coming in as well. Farseer now making its way back off to the north as the Blade Master looking to clear up the remainder of this creep camp. Ice Troll gets taken down. Blade Master gets up to level 3. All right. Scouting Peon goes through, actually removes the healing on that Grunt as the Farseer sits at level 2. Shadow Hunter is already out for Fly. For Infi. Fly's Shadow Hunter should be ready here in just a moment, as both players have level 3 first heroes and will have a level 1 Shadow Hunter as well. Alright, Shadow Hunter, there it goes, pops on out, will be coming bearing gifts of healing salves and speed scrolls, as the Blade Master now, well, making its way back here. So far, though, this entire engagement and this game, not a lot of very heavy action between the actual fights. And as I say that, quick scroll of speed being used by multiple players, as, well, it looks like Infi was able to get the last hit on that Null Overseers. Healing Wave trying to keep all of the units alive. As we are seeing scroll speed now being used once more to try and stop that Hex from, taking down that Headhunter. Headhunter down to 176 hit points. It looks like it will end up staying alive here in just a moment, getting healed back up. Yep, got turned into either a raccoon or a squirrel. Couldn't quite tell. Grunts, Headhunters now making their positions back down. Farseer getting into position. Blade Master going to go after the Grunts here once more. Was a Trash Panda. Shadow Hunter, Blade Master getting ready to engage. Headhunters still trying to clear out the remainder of the creep camps here. And so far, normally at this stage, both sides are trying to do a little bit of creeping in peace, and no one has been able to really do that. Both sides have constantly been engaged here, as we're looking at a Blade Master going for Mirror Image. Alright, Mirror Image Blade Master most likely means Shamans with Lightning Shield. And Shamans with Lightning Shield do deal a large bit of damage, as those Mirror Images are able to push on pressure without... they're able to put in a lot of pressure without themselves actually sacrificing unit. That's interesting. 2 pros in mirror match, and they choose Farseer BM as their first. It is one of those situations where Infi knew his opponent's race. Meanwhile, Fly, perhaps wanting to be able to deal with some of the other strategies out there, opted to go for that Farseer instead. Alright, Tracker going to end up getting taken down here. Blade Master is already at 3. Shadow Hunter sitting at 2. A good item drop, Ring of Regeneration for that Blade Master. That will, however, most likely be sold later, as the Blade Master would rather have perhaps a Claws of Attack +6 or some other item instead. 544 Ogre Magi Creep Camp will get cleared up here, as we are going into mass Headhunters with Shaman. Are we actually going to be going into Fortress for Bloodlust? That is the question now. And getting Bloodlusted and Berserkers with Frenzy, we've seen how effective that can possibly be. Corners of the map can still be crept out here in just a moment. Farseer sitting at level 3. Shadowhunter sitting at level 3. Meanwhile, the Farseer of Infi, the Shadowhunter of Infi only sitting at, it's still only at 2, as in comes that Mirror Image. Alright, Mirror Image right there, absorbing a little bit of that damage. Magnetar Reaver going to continue to engage, as we are now going to end up getting a potential Creepjack. Raiders getting an ensnare on a Grunt, and things are going to go from bad to worse here, as Fly going to perhaps be able to attack his opponent while his opponent's back is exposed. Low hit point Grunt in the back here. It looks as though the Magnetar was taken down. Potion of Invulnerability was dropped there, as Kagar's Pipe of Insight. Shadowhunter is going to have plenty of mana all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, as the Shamans are back out onto the field, and we are now going into Bloodlust training. Alright, Sentry Ward being placed down. Berserkers are being, or Headhunters are getting added, but the Berserker upgrade now getting trained up as well. All right, Farseer, Raiders making their ways back out. You girls both go upstairs. All right, Blade Master, Shadow Hunter. Blade Master, Shadow Hunter, Headhunter is now making, doing a little bit of pressure. The Serpent Wards now making their way back over. Grunt's gonna go ahead and push, and that Kagar's Pipe of Insight gonna really keep the Shaman's mana rather high. Normally, the Shamans are actually in a little bit of a sticky situation since they cannot necessarily get all of the mana they want, especially if they're trying to use Bloodlust. However, with that Kagar's Pipe of Insight, they'll be able to focus and do a little bit more here as the Berserkers are now rotating back over here to the top left. An effective Creepjack coming across right there as we are looking at the Berserkers. Well, 23 to 27 damage, a couple of Shamans with Bloodlust, all possible, as it looks like Fly was purposely trying to double back around, perhaps exposing and seeing if he can get a potential Creepjack there, and well, knowing that it cannot be the case. All right, there goes a mirror image, keeping track of some of those units from behind. Headhunters are going to take a little bit of damage. There is more Bloodlust being used, as we are now going to see them perhaps turn back around. All right, Major Army getting across underway. Lightning Shield being used across multiple units, as that Grunt perhaps going to just get focused down rather fast. All right, there goes, well, that Grunt should get taken down. No, Healing Wave keeps him alive for a little while longer. 55 compared to 50, or 52 compared to 55. Very even in terms of the battle, as the Shamans are now getting taken down as well. All right, Shadowhunter sitting at level 3, trying to Healing Wave up more units. However, the Grunts are completely surrounded by a large number of range units, and they are getting focused down rather quickly too. Raiders are trying to join in on the fight. Raiders are actually a little bit more effective, as we now see a couple of Lightning Shields getting cast onto those Spirit Wolves, allowing for Lightning Shield damage to get added back up again. More ensnares now going across, as it looks like a couple of those units are going to be in trouble. Farseer is going to force a Scroll of Town Portal. Farseer down to 332 hit points, but a Healing Wave keeps it alive as well. Keep some of those Berserkers from fleeing easily, and well, 2 Berserkers getting taken. Well, come on, 2 Berserkers. One more. Come on, 2 Berserkers getting taken down there. Damage getting added up back again. 49 supply compared to 41. Infi actually losing out on that battle by quite a bit, as Fly now has a 14 supply advantage. This is just going very, very well for Fly, using the Raiders to just constantly pick off units. Are we going to perhaps see another round of ensnares as well, preventing the Blade Master from being able to keep track of those units? By shutting down the Blade Master, there is nothing that Blade Master can easily attack. More Raiders showing up to join in on the fight, as well as the Shadow Hunter now going after the other Shadow Hunter here. All right, Shadow Hunter does have a potion of invulnerability, able to stay alive for a little while longer. Meanwhile, the Blade Master can continue to engage as well. Headhunter is going to battle it up once more, as the Troll Berserker going to end up getting taken down, or the Berserker getting taken down. Even though it is a Troll and it is a Berserker, it is not technically a Troll Berserker. All right, Blade Master now looking to back up and head back home. There is that Scroll of Town Portal heading back once more. 52 supply compared to 37. Infi losing out much in that battle. He does have where is that Tauren Chieftain though? Tauren Chieftain is right there, and now going to go ahead and be rallied back. We are going to see Fly clear out the remainder of this creep camp here, pick up perhaps some useful items. He gets a Medallion of Courage. I believe that was the item that was dropped. Meanwhile, the Shadowhunter sitting at level 4, and that Farseer sitting at level 4. Tome of Agility given to that Shadowhunter as a crystal ball being used in order to reveal locations. All right, we are looking at an expansion trying to be established by Infi. There is already the Voodoo Lounge there. Most likely going to purchase a tiny Great Hall and set up this expansion off to the north. Meanwhile, back across over here, Blade Master with Mirror Image and Shadowhunter once again maxed out on mana again. And this is one of those strange spots where I wouldn't think that Infi would be able to bounce back from being down by so much, but he does have an expansion already nearly done because of that tiny Great Hall. And really, the saving grace right now is that Shadowhunter's Brilliance Aura. Orc players normally do not have that much mana, not only on their heroes, but on all of their own personal units. And now with that Brilliance Aura, being training up Witch Doctors is actually a very good idea as well, as that will shore up some of the weaknesses of the Orc army not being able to easily heal. All right, coming back through down to the south, we see Fly does have an expansion of his own. Tiny Great Hall was being used there. 56 supply compared to 50. Raiders are now moving into position. And are we perhaps going to be looking at a mass pillage, going after some of these things as well? All right, I can't quite tell if pillage is being researched. There's Lightning Shield as the Blade Master coming back across here. Torn does have, well, is it going to get surrounded? Is it going to try to throw down a stomp? It has a perfect stomp position. There it goes, stomping down many of those units with that Lightning Shield, just adding in so much damage. 53 supply compared to 52. The Shaman are now running all the way inside their base as stasis traps are being thrown down. And, well, stasis traps, I believe, belongs to the Orc. There is that stun going down here, but the Scroll of Town Portal was already being used. All of those units being picked up and going back home. 53 supply compared to 52 after that particular battle. Infi purposely going into no upkeep to get a little bit more of a bank going and, well, perhaps wanting to pick up some items with that extra bit of gold he is mining compared to his opponent. It is 14 gold a second compared to 20 gold a second now, as we are looking at Fly perhaps wanting to train up and use his larger army to have some sort of advantage. Coming back down to the south here, Raiders 2-0 upgrades. Are they going to perhaps try and take down some of these key buildings? There's a couple of purges, not quite. Oh, I believe those are 2 Spirit Wolves getting taken down pretty quickly. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 1. Raiders going to try and dive on in, perhaps going to surround this tiny Great Hall. And there you go, Raiders with all of that pillage attack. Will they be able to finish it off? Healing Wave, Lightning Shield trying to finish it off. Peons are now in massive repairs. Are we going to see a couple of ensnares on those peons? Yes, we are. And a brilliant, well, massive raid right here and a Scroll of Town Portal. But a couple of Raiders could get left behind. No, just on the outskirts of that range. Expansion taken down right there. I believe pillage is researched as well. Very well played to try and get a little bit of that gold, and now he is going to be coming into the defensive positions to try to hold off what is going to be a powerful counterattack. Shamans are here as well. Raiders need to back up. That damage does add up pretty quickly as the burrow, well, going to go ahead and jump inside a couple of peons to try and fight back. No ensnares being used. Ensnaring a couple of shaman within range would have ensured the burrows could have finished off some of that damage. There goes another ensnare, but a purge stopping that raider in its tracks. Headhunter army not going to be able to easily finish any of this off. There comes in some repairs as well, and well, in comes a lightning shield followed by a stomp. That damage does add up rather fast. Are the peons going to go ahead and jump inside to try and stay alive? And what is going down here? Do we see a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, we do have a Scroll of Town Portal. The Shadowhunter perhaps knowing that, you know what, I need to try and save my expansion off to the north, and that's exactly what was done. Raiders of Fly, however, rushing back the other side. Infi now with a slightly larger army as the units are just rotating about again. More peons getting trained. One Serpent Ward being left behind is going to be able to finish off some of these peons right there. Nope, he dodges it right inside, and a little bit more mining getting underway. Meanwhile, back off to the north, there goes another Raider. Shadowhunter is in position. Tauren Chieftain now trying to make its way back down. Raiders still, well, rotating back and forth, and Infi now with, well, the larger army and superior heroes may be able to push out ahead, as whoever is retreating is generally taking more damage. Scroll of Speed still being used on that Raider. That purge was cast while that Scroll of Speed was then used. And, well, we are going to be looking at another run here. All right, stasis traps. Beautiful defense of the Great Hall by using stasis traps here. And are we going to see another stasis trap? Yes, we are. So stasis traps being used to prevent the destruction of the Great Hall right here. Beautifully done as the Blade Master gets to level 5. Infi using those stasis traps extremely well, and I have to admit, it really is the game all about that Brilliance Aura, giving mana to the Shamans and the Troll Witch Doctors, as the Farseer now forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal again. The Brilliance Aura, well, Orc just needs a little bit of Brilliance Aura, and all of a sudden their casters become incredibly powerful as well. Tauren Chieftain, plenty of mana. Shadow Hunter really enjoying that Brilliance Aura. Perhaps should be trying to use more Healing Wave as well. As in comes a Lightning Shield. There is a Stomp, and a whole bunch of peons are just falling left and right here, as we are going to see this Great Hall perhaps get pressured. The problem, though, an army of magic damage and piercing damage does not do that much, but we see a tech switch from Fly. Fly has all of a sudden gone into Wind Riders, a great way to counteract Lightning Shield, but the Wind Riders actually need to be poking down some of those Witch Doctors and Shaman. The Berserkers, however, with their very fast attack, when they're Bloodlusted, well, do we have Bloodlust? Yes, we do have access to Bloodlust, so that damage can add up very quickly. All right, Wind Riders trying to dance back around on the other side here. Kodo Beast is eating up a Grunt, as the units are just going to engage once more. 56 supply compared to 62. It looks as though this Great Hall will end up getting taken out. Shadow Hunter does not have a Scroll of Town Portal, but the Tauren Chieftain does. They will be able to back out here in just a moment. All right. Tauren Chieftain already rotating back off to the north. Gonna go ahead and land in position, and here we are. Couple of easy, quick kills. Blade Master could actually try and purge down some of those Wind Riders here, as the damage is gonna add back up. There is a lot of Wind Riders in the air, but Mass Troll Berserkers with Bloodlust and Frenzy should be able to counteract this here. Stomp now coming down as well, slowing down the Shadow Hunter and some of the other units. Farseer or Shadow Hunter currently trying to just keep all of these other units alive as well. Brilliance Aura constantly healing up these Berserkers who are taking a lot of damage. Farseer now trying to back away. Healing Wave going to keep him alive. There goes another Stomp, trapping two of those Raiders. Are they going to end up getting taken down? And there goes another Purge, as the Shaman and the Farseer are getting slowed in their tracks continually. Berserker is going to perhaps try and turn back around. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 3. A lot of experience getting gained up right there, as a couple more Raiders could end up falling here in just a moment. Troll Witch Doctor does throw down a Stasis Trap. The Stasis Trap will offer a little bit of protection here, as the engagement is still going through, and it looks like Fly is in trouble. Infi, all of a sudden, now having a 20 supply advantage, going to be able to finish everything off, and that is the game right there. Beautifully played by Infi. And that Brilliance Aura was really the difference. Being able to have the Shaman with large amounts of mana, being able to purge, Lightning Shield, and also cast that Bloodlust. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.